Welcome back to Max Reaction. We're back for another reaction, and this is Real Life Lore. I love Real Life Lore channel because they bring real life experiences people's had, or countries, or whatever. They talk about them, you learn from them. Just amazing. And this one's how a woman survived falling 33,000 feet without a parachute. And I don't even know how you do that. I can't imagine falling 500 feet and living, more or less, no, you know. But 33,000 feet and live, that is an experience. Probably the only person that's ever had that experience. So let's check it out. Let's see what the story is about. Let's see what we can learn. Let's be amazed. This is Real Life Lore Reaction.
Whenever you're flying in an airplane and you're looking out the window, you generally feel pretty safe. Air travel, after all, is basically the safest way that you can travel. But what happens during the rare times when it's not safe?
You die.
How could you survive if, say, the plane exploded up in the air and you had to fall all the way down to the ground?
I could not imagine.
It seems impossible, but surprisingly, people have done it before, and none have fallen from a higher distance than Vesna Vulovic,
wow,
a woman who survived a fall from 33,000 feet up in the sky. Vulovic was born in Belgrade in what was then Yugoslavia.
How do you do that?
She became a flight attendant for JAT.
How do you do that?
Yugoslavia's
flight attendant
airline. Less than 1 year after she had gotten the job, and at the young age of only 22, she was a part of the flight crew on JAT Flight 367 on January 26, 1972. The plane was flying from Stockholm to Belgrade, with 2 stopovers along the way scheduled in Copenhagen and Zagreb.
I can't even imagine.
In Copenhagen, where the original crew was cycled out with Vulovic's crew. It was a fateful accident because Vulovic wasn't even supposed to be on the flight, but the company had apparently mistaken her with another flight attendant also named Vesna.
Fate to live, man.
Regardless, she and her crew boarded the flight anyway, and the
plane
took off from Copenhagen
Fate.
to Zagreb. The flight initially went smoothly and everything was calm for a while, but 46 minutes into the flight, when the plane was just above the town of Srpska Kamenica in Czechoslovakia, something unusual happened.
What?
A bomb went off in the plane's luggage compartment. The plane was cruising at an altitude
so it was terrorist activity. God.
830 feet when the explosion took place, and as a result, the entire plane broke apart into pieces. There were 28 people on board.
That is so sad.
Counting all passengers and crew members. The cabin immediately became depressurized, and everybody was blown out to fall down to their deaths, except for Vulovic. At the height of 33,330 feet, the height that everybody had to fall from was essentially the same as Mount Everest.
Oh my goodness.
With Mount Washington in New Hampshire.
Just the fall would, like, I'd probably have a heart attack,
however,
you know?
A series of almost miraculous events on her side that saved her life. First, when the explosion happened, she was hit by a food cart that pinned her down in the back of the plane fuselage. This prevented her from getting blown out of the cabin like what had happened to everybody else. After falling in a horrific freefall the entire 33,000 feet
is so amazing.
inside, the fuselage landed at an angle in a heavily forested mountainside covered in a thick layer of snow that helped to insulate the landing. Further, Vulovic suffered from very low blood pressure. This caused her to pass out and lose consciousness the moment the bomb went off in the cabin.
She was loose,
this
like,
also prevented her heart from bursting by the force of the crash impact on the mountainside. Vulovic had lied about her heart condition during her interview at JAT out of fear of not getting the job, and had apparently drank a, quote, exorbitant amount of coffee to pass her medical exam. A local Czech villager who lived nearby quickly arrived at the scene of the crash to search for survivors, and discovered Vulovic alive inside of the wreckage. She had been screaming and her turquoise uniform was covered in blood.
That is so freaky.
While Vulovic was indeed alive, she had suffered a fractured and hemorrhaged skull. Both of her legs were broken, her pelvis was shattered.
My goodness.
She had several broken ribs and 3 broken vertebrae, but still alive.
Survived a plane crash.
From her injuries inside of the wreckage, and we would have never known that she survived the fall at all, were it not for the local villager who discovered her and who just happened to have been a medic during the Second World War. He managed to keep her alive long enough for emergency services to arrive that took Vulovic to the closest hospital, and it was there that they managed to save her life.
Luckiest person alive.
She suffered in a coma for a month and had complete amnesia of everything that had happened 1 hour prior to the crash.
Couldn't even remember it. That's probably a good thing.
Again. The last thing that she remembered were the passengers getting on board the plane. She She woke up to her parents, who had to show her a newspaper article about the crash before she believed what had actually happened to her.
Who bombed it?
JAT Flight 367 was likely part of a terror campaign conducted by Croatian nationalists against the Yugoslav government.
Terrible.
The very same day of the plane bombing, a train traveling from Vienna to Zagreb was also bombed. Croatian nationalists carried out a total of 128 terror attacks against Yugoslav civilian.
That is so sad and sick.
Between 1962 and 1986.
Yeah, that's terrible.
However, nobody was ever held accountable for the bombing of JAT Flight 367, and to date, no arrests or suspects have ever been made in connection with the
Probably
attack.
them.
As for Vesna Vulovic, she continued to live a long life after she survived the impossible. Every year after that was kind of like a bonus year that she could enjoy.
Hell yeah, it was.
She regained her ability to walk only 10 months after the crash, and she spent a total of 16 months in recovery. Her parents had to sell both of their family cars in order to pay for her medical bills, but still
worth it.
She was alive.
Yes.
Since she had no memory of the fall, she never developed a fear of flying and wanted to continue being a flight attendant. The airline feared the publicity of having her on board another plane, though, so they moved her down into a desk job. Vesna Vulovic became a kind of celebrity in Yugoslavia afterwards, who was celebrated as a hero across communist Europe and the Soviet Union. She was never able to have children of her own due to complications from her injuries.
That's kind of sad.
From JAT in the 1990s for taking part in anti-government protests against Slobodan Milosevic. In what's possibly the lamest smear campaign ever conducted in history, pro-Milosevic tabloids attacked her story by claiming that her plane had actually been shot down by a Czechoslovak missile, and that she had actually only fallen from a slightly lesser altitude. Regardless, her facts won out. And
She's in a plane crash.
Until 2016.
Still amazing.
Where she passed away in her apartment from her heart complications. She was 66 years old, and she died 44 years after she was supposed to die.
Right. Like she was supposed to.
The Reaper comes for everybody eventually, but sometimes people like Vesna Vulovic say no, not today, and the Reaper had to wait 44 more years before he came knocking again. Life is full of second, third, or fourth chances, and they don't always have to be so dramatic.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may just want to get another chance with a new job, a new hobby, or a new passion. But those all often require you to learn a new set of skills that you haven't experienced yet. I've been wanting to actually film more videos for this channel lately, so I've been taking a course on Skillshare.
He's gonna advertise, but you're right. Who knows how many times each and every one of us have a second chance. Just driving down the road, seconds do matter. Seconds do matter. I had a friend a couple years ago. We lived in the same neighborhood, and we drove the same route to work. And just a few minutes from work. And usually when I travel to work, I'm either behind him or he's behind me driving. That's just the way it worked out. Hold on. But anyway, I showed up to work that day, and he never showed up to work. And it was weird because he never missed work. And we found out at work that a car ran a red light and smashed right into him, and he ended up dying. And just like 2 minutes from work. Just 2 minutes from work. And that could very easily have been me, because he was crossing a green light, you know. It's green, you go. You know, it's clear. Or is it? You know, so seconds do matter, and it's just amazing. I thought it was going to say that she actually fell out of the plane, but it's still amazing that she was in the plane and it fell that far and she lived. It's just weird how life works out. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're very, very unlucky, but you just got to take life for granted, because you don't know what's going to happen when or where. I could be sitting right now making this video and something could happen, or something could happen to you while you're watching this video. Who knows? So just be thankful that you're alive. Look at all the positives and just be happy with what's going on. Do you have anything to say since you were trying to talk over me? What? I don't know what that is. What else? You're gonna have to use real words. You know any real words? That's not a word. He can say real words, but he mumbles for the most part so far. But we're working on it. Anyway, can you say bye-bye? Say bye. Say next time choose Max Reaction, hit that subscribe button. Can you say subscribe button?
Eh?
Yeah, subscribe button. Anyway, we will catch you guys later. Peace.
Good day.
Say peace.